All right, listen, this next team is one I've been curious about from the get-go, and it's super interesting now given where they fall in the rankings. Cincinnati moved up to number 2 behind Georgia in the AP polls on Sunday. First time a team from outside the traditional power conferences has been ranked that high since 2010, and it came after the Bearcats received a boost from Purdue's upset of Iowa, which at that point was number 2. So, Cincinnati gets some help, but that may be the benefit and the problem here, Trevor, because they also may need some help as they play out the season, which is interesting when you consider that, at least in terms of the polls, they're the number 2 team in the country. Contender or pretender?
They are contender. They suffer from the debate of good enough versus deserve it. Deserve it has to do with schedule and what you do against that schedule, and Notre Dame really needs to keep winning in order for the committee to see Cincinnati as one who deserves it. But good enough, I think they're plenty good enough to be in the playoff right now. And last year, they proved it against Georgia in the Peach Bowl. They were ahead of Georgia with 3 seconds to go before Georgia kicked a 53-yard field goal to win the game. And this is a better Cincinnati team than it was last year. I think that if you lift Georgia out of the SEC and put them in the MAC, for example, they'd still be the best team in the country, but the committee might say that they don't deserve it because of schedule. Cincinnati deserves it.
Poor MAC teams might not get a first down, Trevor. If you put that defense in the MAC, they might not ever see a first down or the end zone. Listen, they're a contender because let's see what's happened in college football this year. Clemson, 2 losses. They gone. Ohio State's already got 1 loss. Bama's already got 1 loss. They're playing some tough competition coming up. So the surrounding scenario of college football and what it's been has made Cincinnati a contender. It's a perfect storm. Trev mentioned last year, they gained respect, credibility, undefeated season, great game versus Georgia. Now you come back and do it again with a lot of the same cast of characters. They're absolutely a contender this season.
Well, listen, I like Trevor's point about being good enough, but I do have to ask Trevor if you think, the powers that be, the decision makers, will see it that way as well when they go to make this decision. Assuming they take care of what they got to do, obviously.
Yeah, Wendy, assuming that, they still have a problem, and they still will need help. Because we had thought, or at least I had thought, that because there was no real dominant-looking team in the Big 12, that even an undefeated Big 12 champion wouldn't jump over Cincinnati if they're both undefeated because of the eye test. But now with Caleb Williams at quarterback at Oklahoma, if they win out, they have a chance to get dominant. And so things like that happening bring contenders back up in to compete with Cincinnati.
No doubt, but Trev, it's the same across the country as it is everywhere else. Just cheer against Bama, Cincinnati. You need Bama to lose again. If Bama lose again, that really is a good way to open the door for you if you're undefeated now and you take care of your business. Again, I think the Pac-12, there's more losing to come from Oregon. The Big 12 will suit itself out, a lot of really good teams, but I think they're right there in the mix because the Big 10 is going to knock each other around too.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.